Hi guys, so Edwin Atema from a union representing heavy goods vehicle drivers across Europe said that the UK government's plan to allow drivers to carry out more deliveries was frankly ridiculous. Now this is following news that Shapps the Transport Secretary wants to ease cabotage restrictions on EU drivers. This is to deal with the current shortages post-Brexit. Now the trade union representative described how drivers operating in the UK will be exploited by their employers and how many are simply not applying for visas, the ones that Boris Johnson promoted, for one simple reason.
What do you think of this latest proposal from the British government then to allow foreign lorry drivers to make more deliveries in the UK to try and deal with the supply issues that we've been seeing?
Now, this proposal will legalize exploitation in the UK and is oil on the fire of a broken industry. It's ridiculous.
Why is it exploitation? I mean, these are drivers who are coming here of their own free will and coming here to do some work, and they're now being allowed to do some more work.
Yeah, so these drivers do not come out of their free will. If we look to, for example, a case study close to Westminster, there is an IKEA store in Wembley. That store is been, the transportation to that store is given by IKEA to a transport company from Lithuania. The transport company from Lithuania gets their drivers from Ukraine. These drivers are isolated in their trucks for several months. They're completely stripped of their rights. And basically the UK government now says, these drivers are here anyway, so let's allow these Lithuanian suppliers to do 2 weeks unlimited transports in the UK. Now, how to ruin the industry even more?
Now, this is something that happens a lot. What happens is companies outsource work to agents, and these agencies exploit their workers. They either take money from them or they don't protect them. And unfortunately for these workers, they're not protected like normal workers in a normal society where they would have the rights that other workers would have. Because they're employed by agencies, they have pretty much zero rights. And the companies responsible for hiring these agencies will say, this is nothing got to do with us. This is the agency's responsibility. And then the agency will say, these are partners, these are individuals working with us, not working for us. So they must be responsible for their own operations. We're not responsible for them. We're working with them. They're not employees of our agency. So I think this is going to be something we're going to see much more often post-Brexit, how companies are going to be able to basically exploit workers by not actually employing them, but employing them indirectly.
What about the visas that have been issued, temporary visas to bring in some staff before Christmas to try and ease the supply backlog before Christmas? Several thousand lorry drivers have been invited to come here. In your experience, how many are actually going to come to the UK to do that driving?
Now, the drivers we're speaking to are simply laughing. Do they really think that we will come to the UK to solve a broken industry?
Okay, they're laughing. They're not going to come to fix the problems. Look, this short-term visa is not going to work. If you want drivers to move to the UK to work there permanently, then you don't have a 3-month visa or a 6-month visa. You have an open visa. You welcome them in. But these visas that Boris Johnson and Shapps are presenting to these drivers are completely useless. Now, I've said before, I don't think these visas are designed to bring in European drivers, but perhaps drivers from other parts of the world. Some people have highlighted how, for example, in some African nations, a driver could earn 10 times what they normally earn in a year in just 1 month if they were driving in the UK. And this may be an incentive for some of them to come over to the UK to work for just 3 months. That's enough. But this isn't going to solve the problem of the shortage. It may solve the problem in the short term, but in the long term, the UK is still going to have a chronic shortage of drivers post-Brexit. Let me know in the comment section, guys, what you think about all of this. As always, your comments are greatly appreciated. Thanks a lot.